Let's continue down the dirt road to more 90s thrillers. Let's talk about it. Hey, welcome back to my channel. Hope everyone's doing well out there. And today we're going to talk about another 90s thriller on our way down 90s thrillers territory. And today we're going to talk about Unlawful Entry. This movie came out June 26th of 1992. I remember seeing this in the drive-ins with my parents. I was 13 at the time. I don't remember what the other movie was that we saw that night, but I do remember this film. It's a film I've seen over the years, but I gotta be honest, Friday night's the first time I've seen this film in 15 years, so we'll see if it still holds up. I've always liked this film in the past. We'll see if I think it still holds up to this day. And this movie was directed by Jonathan Kaplan. It had a $23 million budget. Upon release that summer, it did $57 million, which actually was a surprise hit for the studios. I don't think they had much faith in this, although thrillers, especially thrillers involving a husband and wife, were popular at this time. Sleeping with the Enemy. There's several others. Hannah Rocks the Cradle, which we're going to talk about in the coming weeks as well. But this movie has Kurt Russell, the great Kurt Russell, as Michael Carr. He's like this business investor. He redevelops properties like nightclubs and other things. His wife is played by Madeline Stowe. Her name's Karen, and she's a school teacher. And Ray Liotta's in this film too as Officer Pete Davis. And they meet Pete Davis because they're at home at the beginning of the film, and Michael's in his office on the phone trying to close a business deal. And his wife Karen's in her bedroom, and she hears a noise, and she goes to get Michael. He goes downstairs with a golf club, doesn't see anything, but there is an intruder in the house who takes his wife hostage at knife point to get out, and the guy takes off and leaves the wife unharmed, but definitely frightened as you would be, obviously. And they call the police, and they show up, and Officer Pete Davis is one of them. And they take their statement, and he recommends getting a security alarm, which Michael does. But Pete, right away, because the way Karen looks at him, he's infatuated right from the beginning. You can see it in his eyes, but we don't know how crazy he is until the movie goes forward. This is a spoiler review, obviously, because this movie came out in '92. And he keeps injecting himself into their lives. He thinks he's their friend. Michael is goes on a ride along with him one night. He invites Michael to go on a ride along to see what cops do at night and what they have to put up with. And Michael sees some of the things they have to deal with. But then, after he drops off his partner, he takes Michael out because he knows where the guy who broke into their house is. And Michael made a comment to Pete the one day when they were talking about how he wished he can get his hands on him and teach him a few lessons because he's pissed at how he handled his wife. Well, he gives him that opportunity, and Michael's like, well, I was just talking. I'm not really going to beat him up. Just take him in. You got him. Let's take him down to the station. And Officer Pete beats the shit out of this guy and then takes him in and tries to say that he resisted arrest. And Michael gets a clue that this guy is not all there upstairs. And all of a sudden, Pete starts showing up, and Michael's like, I want you to stay away from me and my wife. He realizes this guy might be a problem, and he knows he has an infatuation for his wife. And he tells him to get the fuck out of their lives, pardon my French. But Pete won't go, and he keeps even advancing on Karen, and he thinks Karen's in love with her, and he definitely thinks he's in love with Karen. And Michael goes to his partner, and Pete knows this, ends up setting his partner up to get killed in this drug bust, and he blames the drug dealer on killing his partner. And then he pretty much starts ruining Michael's life. Like, he cuts off his credit cards, he cancels his credit cards, and then he sets Michael up for an arrest because he plants drugs in his house, and Michael goes to jail. And Michael knows he has to get out because he knows Officer Pete's going to make an advance on his wife. And his lawyer gets him out. He goes home. Officer Pete's there. He's already been accosting his wife, although trying to tell her how much they're going to be happy together and he'll take care of her and he loves her and he knows that she loves him. Michael shows up. We have our final confrontation. He ends up shooting Officer Pete and killing him. And they go outside and sit on the front steps of their home while the cops are coming. And that's pretty much the credit starts rolling. That's the end of Unlawful Entry. Now, I got to be honest, like I said, again, I haven't seen this movie in at least 15 years, and rewatching it again on Friday night, this is a well-paced, well-acted thriller. Kurt Russell's fantastic, which he always is in any role he does. I mean, this was the next year after he came off a Backdraft, which was a huge success, and then after this, well, you Captain Ron the same year, which wasn't quite as successful, but it's amusing alone just for Kurt Russell's performance. And then he went on to do Tombstone the next year after this. So Kurt Russell was on a roll right around this time, minus Captain Ron. That wasn't a hit. But again, he's entertaining in that film, although it's not a great film by any stretch of the imagination, but he's quite entertaining in that role. Ray Liotta is great as a psychotic cop who's infatuated with his wife. Madeline Stowe's great as the wife. All the other actors are fantastic. It's well directed. It's well paced. I really like this movie. I enjoyed going back down watching this film again for the first time in 15 years. It was really enjoyable. It still works. It still holds up pretty well. Yes, it's a little dated with the technology stuff, but you're always going to have those issues with an older film. But other than that, it holds up extremely well. Again, all the actors are fantastic. It's well directed. I really enjoyed going back down this, and now I own it, and I'll revisit it sooner than 15 years because that was a long time since I've seen it. But I would give Unlawful Entry an 8.5 out of 10. It's a well done thriller. It's not perfect. There are some issues here and there, but with the actors involved, it has a great cast, and the director keeps things moving. I had a great time revisiting this film from 1992. So yes, 8.5 out of 10 for Unlawful Entry. Have you ever seen this film? Leave a comment down below, let me know. Hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, share this video. I greatly would appreciate that. I'll be back next with Point Break, and then I'm going to do some more Charles Bronson and Chuck Norris films. But yes, we're going to take a pit stop at Point Break territory because I love that film. We'll talk about it in a couple days. Until then, I hope everyone's doing well, and I'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye.